We're back, everybody. Holy moly, Loco tried to fire me last show, and then they realized Loco's not a great host after the Invent Global thing. I'm back. Dom's back. Zyrene's back. It's our first ever quad box for Facecheck. Loco's the only one that hasn't left yet. Hi, everyone, and thank you for joining us. Week 2 LCS in the books, and now you're here with Facecheck to get... this is the most stacked panel I've ever been a part of. It's Loco, it's Dom, it's Zyrene. Dom just finished his stream. Dom, how did your stream go? I didn't get to watch it.
It went like good and bad. I mean, it's pretty much my stream goes the same every day, where I'll win the games at like 1, 2 a.m. and then I lose every single game from like 2 to 6 a.m. because like it's just like if you queue on a fucking Grandmaster account or Challenger account at that time, it's literally impossible to play the game. Like you just get like diamonds on your team, so I lose every game for those 4 hours and then I win again as soon as like players get on. That's how my stream goes.
Can't solo carry. Zyrene, how are you doing, brother?
I'm doing really good, man. Like I had a good week. I stayed away from solo queue, so I'm happy. You know, it's like a quality of life is up.
That's what I've noticed. The less you play, the happier you are. Loco, are you happy or have you been playing?
I haven't been playing at all, but I'm so fucking excited to play the new Riot one, the Teamfight Tactics. League of Legends is that game.
The auto chess clone.
Type of game where I feel like Loco would be really good at it, like instantly. That's his type of game.
He likes to. Well, we invited him for the auto chess tournament, and he didn't do too well in that one.
I just started auto chess. I started like auto chess like I think 2 or 3 days ago before I would have
really?
played in that tournament.
Oh shit. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it was a while back, but he wasn't very good. But I'm sure you'll get the hang of it.
Sure,
I have no idea how it works.
All right. Well, you stack things up. It's like what did they call it? It was like Hearthstone with pieces, they would say, rather than cards. And you try to collect it, you get stronger, whatever. It's fun. It's addicting. But we'll get to that in a bit. First off, LCS week 2 in the books. And guys, I want you guys to bring your #1 trending story, whether it was a game, whether it's a team, whatever it is. Let's start with you, Dom. What was jumping out at you now that the LCS 4 games in the book for each team?
I guess for me, it just I guess it probably is gonna be the same for a lot of us, but maybe Optic. I think Optic just is playing really solid. They kind of remind me of FlyQuest from last split. That's how I feel about them. Like I don't think they're actually gonna win the split or anything, but I feel like they're gonna be pretty solid. And I think Crown is actually playing super well right now. I think he's like one of the best mid laners in the league, as far as like just overall pressure and gameplay. So yeah, I mean, I think that team is actually like if you think about it, their roster should be like one of the last place teams. So the fact that they're doing so well already, I mean, I feel like they could potentially like sneak in, be like a 4th to 6th place playoff team, and you know, probably make semifinals or something like that.
Yeah, Crown's been a fucking giga smurf. He's been the best performing player in the league. I don't think he's the best player in the league, but as of like this short 2 weeks, he's been the best player.
I was worried after he got solo killed by Power of Evil in that game 2 against CLG. He looked like it was the 1v2 outplay that Power of Evil was able to pull off, but then he came back and clapped back real hard, and it's cool to see Crown be the Crown of old rather than just like the retirement home import, you know,
instead of the 100 T-bang.
No shit. But I also think like Meteos is a really good enabler for him, like a super good enabler. I think it's like, you know, it's almost like the whole thing with back in the day Faker and Bengi, right? It's like the right hand. So I kind of feel like that's how he is right now.
I think Aframu's a pretty good enabler for Bang.
Oh my!
Just enables them to. I respect it a lot.
400 Thief. We aren't even fucking talking about them and getting randomly shit on.
Not yet. Hey, we got to start flaming early. If we're talking about players, we got to start flaming early.
So for Optic, one thing that's a little bit deceptive is their strength of schedule was actually one of the weakest. They played 100 Thieves, Clutch, FlyQuest, and CLG. And then next week, they're gonna the next 5 teams they have to play is TL, TSM, GGS, Echofox, and C9.
Yeah, they're gonna get screwed.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good start though. I think when you're a bottom team, you're struggling for any wins, but when you're beating the teams that you're supposed to beat, that definitely gives you a high and also like puts you in the middle of the pack. It sets you up for success. Something that a lot of teams aren't able to do. You find teams like was it TL losing to Echo Fox and CLG? Like, they're not beating teams that they should beat. So I think it's, you know, I don't want to take anything too much away from Optic, even though it has been an easier schedule.
Well, also I think that CLG and Clutch both haven't looked as bad as like you would have expected them to look right now.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure like who the real like who to me is the second worst team in the league. I'm not sure. Like it's very up in the air for me right now. It's like, okay, so 100 Thieves is by far the worst team imaginable, right? And then who's second worst? Like right now it might be FlyQuest even. Like who knows?
Ooh, Fly.
That's weird.
FlyQuest, like I don't know, like I don't think that they're actually the second worst team in the league, but as far as these last 2 weeks, it's hard to argue that they didn't look like it.
For me, it's like maybe for these 2 weeks, FlyQuest is the second worst team, but it's so hard for me to brand them that way because I think Clutch.
I think it's Fox, dude.
What?
I think it's Fox.
TL.
Yeah.
Look at TL.
They beat TL. That's their one win. Look at who they lost to, right?
I mean, TSM fucking FlyQuest lost to a bunch of people too. They only have one win as well. So
Well, so just a reminder.
I understand that there's that transit property, but I think that when I look at FlyQuest's roster and what they're capable of versus Echo Fox, like I don't think that Yasui and Lost are going to be like, you know, the people to bring them up the standings versus, you know, the other competition. So I would actually put like FlyQuest still like above Echo Fox and Clutch.
I mean, that's the thing though. When I look at Fox, it's like if they were just stuck with that roster, that's fine. But I feel like if they start losing games, they're just gonna put Phoenix back in, put Phoenix back in, put Apollo back in, get some wins again. And I feel like they're like, yeah, they weren't one of the bottom teams. I mean, they made playoffs last split, so.
Yeah, that's if they swap stuff out. Of course, I'll change my opinion then. But like right now, I think that they're the second worst.
I mean, just reminded though, like if we're giving Optic like, oh, they've had an easy schedule, like Echo Fox has had a hard schedule. They played Cloud9, Golden Guardians, TSM, and Team Liquid. So those are all teams that were above them in the standings. They went 1-3. So I think there's a little bit.
All types
there.
of garbage teams. Didn't FlyQuest lose to like CLG and stuff? Like FlyQuest schedule. Well, who do they play?
Cloud9, Golden Guardians, and Optic.
They lost to Optic and Golden Guardian. Okay, I guess it's not that bad. It's not as bad as I thought.
Yeah, and they beat TSM.
Yeah. Yeah.
While they're running Sonateric. No.
Well, who do we consider like maybe not last, but like the non-playoff guys, like 8 through 7, or you can even say like 8 through 6, so that like, hey, these are teams that should be losing that aren't. I would say like a CLG slotted into there, and Echo Fox, maybe FlyQuest, because Golden Guardians looks pretty good.
So wait, we're like assuming 100 Thieves,
yes.
Bottom, and then who are we saying is second? Did we reach a consensus? Clutch? Okay.
Clutch, yeah. Echo Fox.
Clutch, Echo Fox.
Clutch, Echo Fox, and.
So we're saying who's seventh, right?
Maybe like then it's CLG or FlyQuest. I would say has to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, just because there seems to be like so much parity with Clutch that we're like isn't that good at 2-2. Right?
Is
they got
Optic
themselves
the
2
real
wins.
deal though? Is like the big question.
I think they're
like
not the worst.
Wait, Optic is the real deal in terms of like how they play. Like they actually play side lanes properly. They know how to run 1-3-1. They know how to run.
That's the only thing Dokla can do is you leave him alone, and
But
he like, calls other people to him.
I feel like he's been playing pretty well this split. Like
Yeah.
he's been leaving lane, like getting like dives off mid. He's been like playing team fights pretty well. Like I thought his Poppy team fight was like really solid.
Yeah.
So I don't actually think that he's like I don't think he's as bad as people think.
I think this split, they're drafting for the players they have. Like last split, they were so fucking stupid, and they kept trying to put Dokla on carries. They try to make Dokla their win condition in some of their games, and it was just so fucking dumb. And this split, they're actually realizing, okay, we're gonna put Dokla on Poppy. We're gonna make him play tank, and we're gonna play her in their mid. Like they know exactly what kind of players they have, and they're actually drafting for it.
I also think that Optic as a team, they've kind of like understood. Like it felt like almost like spring split was a throwaway. I mean, it started off super fucking weird, right? Like they had like their academy roster playing because they couldn't get like all the visas immediately. So like their first 2 weeks they had academy playing, and then they had like Dardock coming in for random games. It feels like this is like their split where it's like everyone is like here and ready to play, and they're like they scrimmed before the season actually started, and you have like a real lineup going into the season. Where I feel like when you start in such like, because I've been on teams like that where you have your imports that aren't even in the country until like week 2 or week 3, and it's just when that happens, it's like when they come in, you're so far behind. Like it feels like you're always just like chasing everyone else because everyone else has been scrimming from like 2 weeks before the season started, and you don't start scrimming like really with your team until like week 3. So you're like a month behind everyone in terms of preparation. And I feel like a team like Optic, they actually benefited from taking the time off. It's like they've all been here. They've been playing solo queue. Arrow's actually fucking like top 5, I think, right now. Like he's really grinding out there. So I feel like this is like their split where they're actually gonna perform to the level like to like their best potential. So if that's like a 4th place roster, I feel like it could be a 4th place team.
Ooh, we're using the P word really early.
Well, I mean, and then at the end of the split, they'll get sold to Immortals.
Yep.
Jesus.
We'll get to that one in a bit.
Who cares?
Dude, Optic as a brand has no kind of like foothold on League of Legends. Like I know they're huge in Call of Duty, but they literally have no brand in League of Legends.
So do you just brand back to Immortals, right? For that, and then you keep Optic and Immortals as like branches both underneath, even though they're like both acquired by I think like the same company. So you can have Optic in the shooting games and have Immortals in like League of Legends, just like you have like LA Valiant. So
that's
who do you think is the best brand out of like the new franchises?
100 Thieves, unfortunately.
In terms of branding, I think I think 100 Thieves has the best branding. Yeah. It's just that's why people are so fucking pissed at 100 Thieves because they're succeeding in pretty much anything but League of Legends.
Yeah, but that's like really smart. Like they branded their whole selves, like their whole organization is branded off like this streetwear type of like vibe, which I think is really cool because most of the players are going to end up on the street after the split, so they'll be able to, look at
be actually streetwear.
Yeah.
Well, that was good.
We just end the show now,
Yeah, it's done.
Thank you, everyone.
Everyone's dead.
Oh my god.
Sorry, Maddie. Your team just got thrown in the dumpster by Dom. Let's talk about those 100 Thieves.
Loco said it.
Yeah, Loco said it. Let's talk about those 100 Thieves. They lost the clutch. They look inept. Afro is not looking very good and not allowing his top-tier mid laner, Saligo, to pop off or do anything. What is wrong with 100 Thieves, Zareen? I was just kidding about top-tier mid lane.
Yeah, I was like, half of your statement is like satirical, and like the other half is like true. So I'm like, wait, what does he believe? I just think like Saligo still hasn't fit in with the team completely. They don't know what his role is. Like he just has like a personal role right now. He doesn't have a team role. He's kind of like, just don't lose lane completely,
and
don't lose lane, right? And he won't. But then like he doesn't have a goal like a Niski. He doesn't have a goal like what a Jensen tries to do or what people try to do around him. So like none of the team's goals seem to rotate around him, and he doesn't have any goals that rotate around the team for the most part.
Wait.
So
every mid laner has the same goal: win lane and have priority. It's just he's not doing his job.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying like. Okay. So maybe he has a different goal, but I'm just saying sometimes
what other than winning lane? What's his goal, Zareen?
Not losing. Like, what are you talking about, dude? What the fuck? Like, 100%. Do you think that people go into matchups and they go, my goal is to win lane as fucking like Katarina into Jace? Like, fuck no, dude.
I agree with you on that part, but every mid laner right now is like, I need to try to get priority. I need to play these OP champions. Like they have very, very similar jobs, and he's not performing his job at all. That's how I feel.
You know what pisses me off so much is how much like I feel like the casters feel bad for him because he's getting like shit on so hard, and they try to be like nice to him. And I was like listening to some of the comments they're making during the game, like by like Azale. It's like he tries to. He just throws like his ult backwards. It's like, oh, that was actually really nice because he like almost predicted that.
Oh, the Azir one.
And I was like, wait, he's just fucking inting. Like he's fucking feeding. Like, can somebody just say that he's fucking bad, please?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is going on right now? Like, why are we suddenly like being nice to players that suck dick? Like, if you fucking suck, you fucking suck. You need to like know that you suck, and hopefully you can improve in the future. Like I don't understand this new mindset of like, oh no, Saligo's actually not that bad. No, right now he's bad. He is the worst mid laner in the LCS by far. Correct?
Yep.
Is there anyone that's even close? Like Demonte smashed him. Maybe Yasui. Like maybe Yasui. I don't know. I feel like Yasui's looked better than him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like at least Yasui's doing
you said
something.
Close, and Yasui's close, but like, Yasui's better than.
I mean, if I were to say bottom 3 mid laners in the league, it'd probably be Demonte 8th, then Yasui, then than Saligo, and Demonte just shit on Saligo like anyway. So I don't know. I feel like he's just not an LCS player. Like maybe he could be an academy player, but I don't see any reason this guy is an LCS.
On the caster thing, I think it's really important to kind of understand that like the community's going to tear somebody apart anyway. Like I'm just like going to give perspective from like a caster's point of view, that the community's going to tear down somebody anyway. And I don't think you should sugarcoat it. I think that's definitely a bad call. But at the same time, for a player that is a little bit newer and doesn't have a brand, if their brand at the start, it's almost like it's first impressions are very hard to recover from. Very hard to recover from. And if you start making a negative impression of somebody, that's not hero building, and it doesn't give them the opportunity to really recover. Because, for example, like if you build somebody up like fucking Biofrost, who comes in and like has some good plays, like people still remember to this day, like Biofrost could suck for like a year and a half, and they'd still be like, you know, when he pops off, it's Bio Daddy again, right? It's like, oh shit, here comes Mr. Wang. And like that's the shit that I think like really helps players out with their branding. Whereas if we just shit on him or we didn't play up his big plays at the start and then it was like, oh, he starts doing poorly, they have no foundation on which it's built. So giving them that opportunity, but given a track record of like, if we give him an entire year, because this is his first split, right? Or I guess kind of first full split.
Yeah.
So at that point, I say like these guys are going up against people who are seasoned, and even if they aren't, it's just like they're still trying to fit in with the team. So you cut them some slack.
Oh,
like,
shit, I'm back.
I agree with you though that like the brutal approach is good, but I feel like for a larger audience, it doesn't really do much to build the excitement of the game. It detracts from it, and it makes it like a hate circle jerk.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like other players have got fucked so hard by the casters.
Like you?
I feel like, well, no. Actually, the casters were really nice to me. Like
they were afraid of getting burned. That's why.
No, straight up. Like I like the casters were really fucking nice to me when I was a player. I thought like
You were good.
Yeah, I think I was good at LCS, but like I don't know, Freak would always say like positive things and shit. So I've always had a positive interpretation of like casters and shit. It's just that like when I see somebody like Golden Glue, it's like I feel like compared to like when Golden Glue played and Saligo, it's like I feel like casters were so much harsher towards Golden Glue when he was like making horrible mistakes than Saligo. It feels like people are just like nicer to Saligo for some reason.
Is this like back when Golden Glue started replacing Scar on Dignitas?
No, I mean I think it was when he played in season 7. That's what I really.
Yep.
TL
I agree,
Golden Glue was the worst. That was
TL Golden Glue. Yeah.
Yo.
Yeah. I actually think like one of the interesting. I actually want to use a great example of Keith, because when Keith first came on the scene, he just won a bunch of games in a row with like TSM, right?
Yeah.
And it was like Toucan, and now like Keith, he has like some good games, but then like there was just this big chunk in the middle where it's like Keith is like he's the jack. He's the one who's like, it's a spare tire, right? It's a tire that like doesn't fit with the rest of it. It's like, oh well, you have pop tire, 80 carry don't work. Put on Keith. All right, this will last us until we get to the shop. And it just really sucked. But still, I don't think Keith became like this complete like brand where people are like, it's a joke, right? Or he's just bad.
Yeah.
But if he had started that way and then he had those good games, I think like first impressions matters so much.
I thought Keith was good, man. I liked playing with Keith.
I like him.
You like
the fact
him a lot. That he wasn't Piglet. That's what you like. You like the fact he wasn't Piglet.
Straight
you
up.
like playing with Keith.
That's what
No,
most
I actually
teams
like
do
playing
when
with
they pick up
Keith. Keith is like an empowering player. He's one of those
No,
players.
you
that
shout
makes
on him all the time. You just got to like.
He empowered him to shit on him, dude.
Wait, when did I shit on him?
Keith told me that you would flame him all the time.
I flamed him, but like as a joke. Like I flamed, like he was like my team.
That's how
I knew it was a joke.
He appreciates you.
No, like that's like I flame everyone, you know. Like I flame literally every single person in my life. I flame. It's like it's a term of endearment for me. I didn't actually like if I actually don't like you, I will not. I'll treat you like I treated Piglet. Where it's like I don't like joke with you. It's just like you're just there, you know. That's how I am. But no, I mean fucking. Keith is an empowering player. He's the type of player who like really believes in his teammates, and he makes you like feel like you're better than you are almost. You know.
So
Dom's biggest flame is you're not worth me flaming. Like,
yeah.
So let's reel it back in a bit.
Right.
How do we fix 100 Thieves, Loco? How do you go about fixing their issue? Do we sign Keith and empower Afromu? Like, is that 100 Keith coming?
That's actually not a bad direction, but I do think they need to let go of one of their imports and get a mid import. It is just so fucking hard to compete
100%.
without a mid import. So that is actually an option they could do. Get Keith instead of Bang and get a mid import. That is literally one of the possible solutions for them.
Who's their Academy AD carry right now?
Prismal.
Okay.
He's not ready yet, but he could be good later on, I think. But I don't think he's ready yet.
Dom, you were saying something though?
I was thinking about like, I don't know. I feel like Someday is good, but I wonder if it'd be better to have an import fucking mid laner. Anyway.
Ooh, you get rid of Someday before Bang. Someday before
I don't know.
Bang, Dom?
I
Dude,
feel
the
like,
Optic?
I feel like I honestly think if you give Bang like a good support, he could still be good. I don't think Bang is that bad.
Damn. So you're saying like you're saying like we fucking moneyball 100 Thieves. We're just like, you know, these salaries, just like Afro buy. I know we built the brand around you at the start. That's okay. And you're just like, all right, Bang, your paycheck's way too big, and or like even someday you're like one of you two, and then you just try to invest in like better players or players that potentially could be better in the future. That's really risky.
Okay.
But I mean,
between Bang and Afro, I trust. I feel like it's kind of like yeah, it's kind of like the Mitty situation where Mitty came to TSM and had a really shit split, and then he went back to OG, and then he did well. Like Afro has shown success in NA before, and I think it's so fucking hard to translate Korean success to North American success. So I think it's gonna be. I think both are at a pretty hard place right now. But if I had to pick one, I'd go with Afro.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it just comes down to like the player's mentality. It's like, I feel like Koreans that are like really like strong-willed don't do that well here.
Yeah, I think for me it would come down to position. That would be like the biggest thing where I'm just like, you know what, maybe I cut Bang because I think the AD carry difference between like an import and non-import isn't that big, whereas like top laner, mid laner, I think it's much larger. Support, you know, it doesn't matter. Afro's not even an import, so that's what would do it for me. Is I think having an import mid is so important, and potentially having a top, but I don't think AD really matters that much. Like I'm trying to think historically, like how many import marksmen actually like made it really far in North America.
Arrow, that's it. MVP Arrow.
Little Piglet is like
Arrow and Zben are the most successful.
Arrow
and Zben.
Yeah.
Well, I think that we usually save Tweet of the Week for the end, but I think right now is a good time to pull that one up. Amazing tweeted this one out earlier, and it was just telling that he went with this. It says, I hate it. I hate going on stage and losing. I hate playing and losing. I hate losing. Simple as that. No matter what mine or our former glory may portray, we are terrible right now, and we have to get things done quickly before it's too late. He followed up with, our responsibility to play and perform well goes beyond just our own careers. We have to start to take it seriously. 100 Thieves deserves better. Our fans deserve better. And even if we ourselves make mistakes, our teammates deserve better. It's not about me. It is about we. I think that's super telling for the new guy that hopped on in. Amazing isn't one short of words, but it kind of feels like shots at themselves. I wouldn't say he's throwing his teammates under the bus. He does a good job of saying, hey, it's a we thing, but like that's a real interesting take here from the new guy. Thoughts on it?
I mean, after you go 0-4, someone has to speak up. Probably also made a tweet, something like, I'm gonna either fix this team or die trying. Like, at least they're speaking up about it and saying something.
Holy shit. Rest in peace, probably. Actually,
if you go 0-4 and your team has no message outward, that's actually so fucking bad. So, man, this shit doesn't look good, but at least they're trying to do something.
Jesus Christ, better start looking at caskets, man. Jesus.
Oh my god, Dom.
It is over, dude.
Well, so we talked about every other role other than Amazing. How do we feel like he's done so far in the first, 2 weeks? It doesn't seem like it's his fault, but at the same time, has he been a bright spot? Has he had his own issues? Because his Olaf looked good early on in their game this week, but still didn't lead to the W.
I feel like he's just not a good fit for like bad. Like I feel like he can jungle for really good players.
Wow.
I feel like well, no, like some people can't. Like some people that are more carry oriented, like they're not able to like gank as well. Like the thing so Amazing is like Meteos. He's like the same type of player. Maybe Meteos is a little bit better right now, but that's the same type of like they're smart players. So they're gonna get like good ganks off, hit good timings that other less experienced junglers won't do. But 100 Thieves just need somebody to fucking like carry that goddamn team. Like they need somebody to just actually just pop the fuck off. And they like 100 Thieves needs a Dardoch right now. They don't need a Meteos. That's how I see it.
I totally get that. It's like if you're playing Sejuani, if you're like a fucking like Masters player, you're playing Sejuani on a Smurf. It's like I can't fucking carry these guys. But if you just play any carry champion, you'll just like
you
carry
play,
the
like,
team,
kha'zix
right?
or some shit.
But then, then you play that at higher elo. It's just like, why didn't I just play Sej here?
His champion pool doesn't really make sense for this team. Like, if you look at what he was really good on when he last summer when he was with Schalke, like he played a lot of like Skarner, he played a lot of Sejuani. Like those are the types of champions that he's good on. It's like Skarner, Sejuani, Jarvan, things like that. And like the situation that 100 Thieves are in right now, like they're playing Sona Taric. It's like you have Sona Taric, you need something to carry out. Like you don't need a Jarvan with Conquer building Cinderhulk or some shit. Like when you have Sona Taric, you need a Hecarim on your team as a jungler. You need a fucking Kindred. You need something that's gonna be like doing the like where it's like, yeah, I'm invulnerable. I'm gonna fucking kill you while I'm invulnerable. Instead of like Jarvan, where it's like I set up the CC, hit the Sona. Oh wait, we didn't kill anyone. Okay, we lose. You know?
So they actually copied C9's draft pick for pick in that comp where they ran Sona Taric, Jarvan, Nico, Azir. And I thought it was a really hard Sona Taric comp to pull off. It's not like a full-on dive one. You have to kind of stack your CC, make sure Azir can do damage, make sure your Nico can do damage. Like I was like, how'd you guys feel about that one? Like them directly copying C9's comp.
I think there was a difference, wasn't there? C9 played AP Nico and they played on-hit Nico.
Oh.
No. I think on-hit Nico's shit now. Like, because the Rage Blade nerfs, like, I don't think she's actually as good. And I think AP is way more impactful, and like Glacial Augment is super oppressive. So I feel like you get the same type of oppression in lane with AP Nico, and you scale better for like the team fighting. And that's what that comp wants to do. Like, what is an on-hit Nico really going to accomplish with like, oh, I'm invulnerable. Is she even at the team fight with Sona Taric? Whereas AP Nico is just very devastating. So that's my opinion on it. Is I think that pick kind of it's like having an AP versus AD cannon, right? It really does matter for the way the team fights go and how you want to play the comp.
Yeah, and even in that game, the 100 Thieves clutch game, that's when Someday the big four-man Nico ult that wasn't able to kill anyone when they're doing the base defense. And think about the Jax game that he had last split. Like that could have been the tide turner. It's just rough. It's rough to see Someday not being dominant right now, and whether that's build or team, it's tough. So this 100 Thieves team, pretty broken. And it doesn't seem like there's a clear fix in sight within this split, and it might be time to go casket shopping for some of those members.
Sometimes teams have hope where it's like, oh, they're 0-4, but they're like getting leads and throwing, so it's okay. Like as soon as they clean up their mid to late game or their vision control around, like I don't know what 100 Thieves does well. They just start the game losing, and then they lose throughout the whole game, and they only get kills when the enemy fucks up bad. That's how
it does feel really hopeless where they aren't making their own proactive plays and they're just kind of waiting and losing. Yeah.
I wanted to tilt it over and take a peek at our two favorites here.
Sorry, I kind of wanted to like touch on that tweet a little bit more. Yeah. While it was still on screen. It kind of like puts this weird feeling in my stomach where I'm like, you make this statement and where it's like, I hate it. I hate going on stage. I hate playing and losing. I hate this. I hate that. And then you end it with, it's not about me, it's about we. And when you put something on social media, but also like, unless you are like outwardly defending somebody else and like really like self-sacrificing in some way, social media, especially when you have a lot of followers, is very self-serving. And it's to either get flame off of you, it's to have people sympathize with you, empathize with you. So it ultimately does come back to you, because otherwise you just wouldn't say anything. So it's like, why do you put something on social media? It's so that other people can see what you are saying. So there's like honestly like a selfishness to social media in the first place, because you know that it's going to get traction in some way. So I feel like in choosing to do more, you should say less. And like, I understand you want to make a promise to the fans, then like do that. That's kind of my take on it, as opposed to complaining about these things, changing the potentially changing the environment and saying like, there's a lot of pressure on us. This is what they deserve. We aren't good enough, like that type of thing. So it rubs me the wrong way, but only slightly.
Do you think he's trying to get in front of the narrative and kind of like,
I think he's just frustrated. I think he's frustrated. I think that's the tweet that you make out of frustration, especially when you like make two of them and back to back, and they're 2 hours apart too. So he's like, I made a tweet and I need to follow up on it because oh no, it made it sound like I was being selfish and that type of thing. So I feel like it was a frustration type of tweet, where he's like, he's just venting because sometimes you want to vent to your team and be like, you're not helping me. I'm not doing this for you. Like you'll have infighting and stuff, right? You'll have conflict. I think having the conflict is important. Bringing that conflict outside is not something you do. You don't like call people out on social media like you did this, you did that. Like just have it internally. So I think like that's when you have something like this kind of leak out, it's indicative of like a larger problem. And I wonder what the talks are like and what the reviews are like for this team.
I'm sure it's all positive.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's only up from here, dude.
Yeah.
All right. So you didn't just review the VOD. They're just like, yeah, I think we played perfect game. Like this is ideal.
Nothing we can do, man.
Unlucky.
Nothing I can do.
Unlucky. All right. So let's. I wanted to turn our attention to some of the OG franchises that are finding themselves 2-2 right now. TSM, Team Liquid, and CLG all 2-2 right now. Two of those teams expected to not be there. One of those teams probably happy to be there at 2-2 right now. TL losing to Echo Fox and to CLG, two teams that they shouldn't be losing to. What's up with them? Why are they not able to capitalize on top of Impact's amazing top lane play, taking a bunch of pressure up in the top lane and then not able to do anything with it? What's going on with TL early in the split?
TL kind of feels like Golden State Warriors during regular season. They honestly don't care. Like when I see TL lose, I'm not like, holy fuck, TL's so fucking bad. I'm like, sometimes they're making such basic mistakes and they have bad drafts. I'm not even worried for them in the slightest. I'm just like, they don't care enough.
Yeah, I feel the same exact way. Like it just doesn't. Also, you have to consider like to these players, right? Like everyone else got pretty much long breaks. They
give them a break.
Yeah, they went to MSI. They played the whole fucking tournament. You know, they had to play. I think didn't they have to do play-ins? They had to do like they had to play versus so they have to do play-ins.
They played the longest.
Yeah, so they played the longest, right? So the only time that they get any break at all is right before the summer split. Like so they probably just have been playing the least amount of time out of all these teams. Once they get their shit together, they're still going to be dominant. There needs to be some time to like de-stress, and I'm assuming that the team like probably took that time right after MSI. So they're just like, yeah, like it's the same thing with TSM and TL. I don't feel worried about them at all because TSM, they're just trying to figure out like it's almost like they're scrimming on stage. That's how I view TSM. It's like they're trying to figure out like who is the better jungler, and they're just like testing shit. That to me isn't like a team where I'm like, oh shit, they lost. TSM can suck. They're just terrible, you know. Like think that they're confident enough as a team that they'll be able to get their shit into gear when they need to. So they're taking like probably like half the split to test like which jungler is better for the team. TL is like just trying to get into the swing of things. They took a little bit break before. Like this is not. I don't think it's the end of the world for either of these teams. I think they're both top 3 teams, no matter what.
Yeah, and like people can make the argument like, oh, G2, they also played in the finals and stuff like that. And like Caps, he literally went from like world finals to having to play in spring, playing in the finals, going all the way MSI, and then coming back in. But like LEC starts a week later. Like that 1 week actually makes a big difference because being able to, it's so hard to like, the plane is already taken off and now you're trying to fix the plane in midair. So you're slower. Whereas if you just wait a little bit, fix the plane completely and then take off, you're ready to go. So that I legitimately think that's a big difference because if you're able to just drop everything for a little bit and de-stress, that's way better than having to just constantly have it, maybe half-ass it for a bit and try to fill the tank there.
Also, placing second is so different mentally from placing first. Like after second, you're like, all this for this? Like we worked so hard for this where you're first. Like I'm sure G2 is so fucking motivated. Like we can win worlds. We're potentially the best team in the world. Like where TL just feels kind of empty.
I think that's a bit of a stretch. I think that they could shrug it off, like to the point where it's like, yo, we played so bad, historically bad in the finals, fastest game ever in the finals of MSI. That really wasn't us. Let's get back to work. I think that's a way that they could be looking at it as well.
if they were a hungry team, I don't think TL is anything. I don't think TL is lazy, but they're a very, very accomplished team. They're such an accomplished team, and to end finals that way, it leaves a really like big pit in your stomach.
That's fair. To your point, Dom, TSM trying to figure out who the better jungler is. We had our psychic Locodoco say Grig is a beast. He's currently 2-0 compared to the 0-2 of Acadian. Not saying it's all Acadian's fault, but in his games, Grig has looked. I want you to touch on that jungler matchup. I think so. I think he's been facilitating a lot here for Bjergsen and able to make plays.
Very good in the. He's played 2 games of Hecarim, right? Pretty sure.
He played Hecarim in the first one. Yeah, Hecarim and Hecarim.
The first Hecarim game, I remember I did not think he played very well. They ended up winning, but I wasn't like, oh shit, like it's because of Grig. I think that game they might have had Sona Tarek as well. I'm not. I don't remember last week, but I just remember watching the game and there was a bunch of stuff that I saw where I'm like, oh, he looked to me worse than Acadian looked, even though Acadian got stomped.
Yeah, no, that makes sense to me. And I think the game that Acadian played, where they played Sona Tarek and he played Hecarim, I thought like that was just FlyQuest's draft being like super good because they had I've had like 3 winning lanes and Elise, so the game was just like you guys don't get to do anything. Like Sona Tarek gonna have a team fight where they feel good. They lost like I don't remember. I think they lost like double-digit turret plates or something because all the lanes were winning so hard. So, yeah.
Yo, chat's complaining about stream lagging. Internet's fine on my end, Daniel. Is it fine on yours? I'm trying to figure out if it's you or me.
It's been everyone's been fine so far. I haven't had anything here. You guys have been able to hear everything, right, Dom and Aiden?
Yeah, I've heard.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's just go on then. Okay. For me, for TSM, Grig and Acadian, I think where it was really different in the FlyQuest game for Acadian, where he played Hecarim. I actually thought he played that one really bad, and his build choice was really fucking whack. It was versus Ribbon, Jace, and Caitlyn. And something that's so fucking powerful right now for junglers is, and for any kind of melee champion in general, is
Legend Tenacity and Tabbies.
Legend Tenacity. Oh my fucking thank you, John. Legend Tenacity and Tabbies. And the whole point of fucking playing Sona Tarek is you're an invulnerable Hecarim. Rush Trinity Force. Like get warriors. Like, and this guy's going Blue Smite, Ghost, not Ninja Tabby, Mercs into Sterix. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, Acadian, like, this is not how you build Hecarim, and this is not how you build Sona Tarek Hecarim, and it's so basic. And the worst thing is, Grig builds it properly. Like, what are you doing when Grig's fucking playing Hecarim? Like, are you not watching him? Like, as a team, do you guys not know what you want to be doing? I was fucking shocked.
Yeah, the build was really bad. I think it was just like they were losing so hard that it's like, okay, like, build what I can. Because the thing is, he probably just felt like he couldn't finish a Trinity Force there. When you're that far behind, it's like really rough. Backing, like 1,200 gold, whatever, you build your phage, the next back you have like 1,000 gold building a Sheen there when you're getting one shot. It feels really bad building a Shade. So I think that he was just like, they were getting shit on so hard by the time that he had to like make the decision. He's like, okay, I have to go something else. Like I cannot be building a Triforce and just go like 0-10.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. He's 1-0-1. His team is 3-0 in kills. They're down a bit in pressure, and that's when he full buys Merc Treads on his back. So he doesn't even have like brown boots or anything. He just full buys Merc Treads. So yeah, I agree with Loco. That's actually a complete mistake. He's he's valuing the Elise matchup too much. And like
the thing is, you have Legend Tenacity, like that.
Yeah,
shit is so broken. Why would you not go? Why would you not go Legend Tenacity on Hecarim? Like, do you need the attack speed? Do you need the life steal? Like, what the fuck did he go? I don't. I'm not a jungle player, but I fucking know this.
You're right though. Yeah.
Yeah. No, you go Legend. I go Legend Tenacity every single game on Hecarim. Like, I just feel like the attack speed is not.
Yeah, he went Alacrity. He went Alacrity, and then he went Nullifying Orb Celerity. So he was like paranoid of magic damage or something that game.
Oh my god.
Just on autopilot. That's what it sounds like.
Also, when I was watching that game and TSM got ahead as Sona Tarek, like the goal of Sonateric is to not fall behind early game, but they literally got ahead as Sonateric and they still managed to lose. Like that is like an unlosable state for Sonateric. Like 15 minutes into the game, you're up gold. Like you should not be fucking losing.
Are they up gold? They're up kills. I don't think they're up gold because the turret plates, right?
They ended up taking turrets too, so I'm not sure if they were up gold, but they were evenish. They were either evenish or up gold.
Yeah, they were down about 2K at 15.
Okay, I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Because they literally have 3 winning lanes. Like, no, I actually think the FlyQuest draft, like, they had Riven into Pyke, they had Jace into Ryze, and then they had Elise jungle. Like, Caitlyn, Lux bottom lane. I actually thought like I think they might have been one of the first teams to actually almost bait a Sonateric and say we're just gonna play Caitlyn into it because nobody's gonna ban that. We're gonna grab Lux and flex it. So I thought they actually played the flex really, really well with Lux and Jace, and then went into the second part of the draft. So I thought their draft was super good.
TSM fucked their draft. Wait, Zyrene.
What's up?
They blind pick Pyke into pick Riven on us, and they had no idea what to do with Pyke.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't want to take credit away Quest for so much of like TSM doing dumbass shit.
I mean,
they thought it was Jace. They thought it was into Jace.
They should know it's a flex. And Pobelter's been playing Jace mid so much, like it's unexcusable. Like before you go draft as a coach, like for all the flex picks in this current meta, like you kind of know where each team is sending their flex pick, and you have the solo queue data, you have the previous pick data, like you fucking know which where the solo picks are going. So
was that the first time that I think that might have been the first time Pobelter played Jace mid.
I think he played it the second game. He played it 2 times
in a row, but this was the first one.
Yeah, but this was the first one. Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe
but like,
didn't know.
But like, I think at that point, it's just like, yeah, you can flex it, but the blind pick Pyke, maybe they were just saying this is the only thing we possibly play into Jace. Maybe they practiced it. Maybe they were like eager for that matchup. But maybe FlyQuest adaptation is flexing the Jace on red side to get a better top lane matchup.
I don't know. I don't feel the same way.
Lane.
I don't feel the same way about Pyke as I do about like other shit. Like I don't think Pyke is that broken as a solo laner. Like I think that Wonder played it really well. Like and he knew when to pick it. Yeah, I mean I think he did well with it there, but I just don't understand why like every team in NA just plays Pyke all the time now. Like and then they just fucking lose. Like is Pyke one top or
I don't think it has in North America.
In NA?
FlyQuest didn't, Huni didn't, Broken Blade didn't, so I don't not that I remember.
Yeah, NA
so
Pyke,
so everyone just loses. So it just loses every game, and they're just fucking playing it anyway. It's like when fucking every player in NA wanted to play Jace top, and they just ended every game on Jace for like 4 seasons. It's like maybe we should try something that's not Pyke or Jace top.
And NA has a good tradition of ruining like assassin AD picks, like NA Rengar, NA Jace, now NA Pyke. We just suck at heavy execution champions.
Anything that requires skill. So who'd have thought, dude? It's the ping, though, dude. It's the ping in solo queue.
Seriously though, like I was literally gonna say that. You know how worse like a training environment is for pro players here when they play on 70 ping compared to like 17 in Europe. Like it literally makes you feel like you're a different player when you play on 17 ping. It makes you feel like you're just better than you are when you play on 17 ping. I feel like that's just one of the things that Riot needs to like address so easily. There's so many like fixes, but I mean. It's so fucking retarded when you think about it to be like we're gonna base our whole esports ecosystem off the LA area, and then we're putting the servers in Chicago. What?
Yeah.
Like, it just doesn't make any fucking sense.
It's not a controlled environment. You don't practice. It's almost like practicing with a hoop that's like a foot lower or a foot higher. Sorry, a foot higher. You get like adjusted to it, and then you get out there, and you're just like, oh shit! Like your shot's gonna be a little off. You're gonna go over because you're not practicing the way that you're gonna play.
I mean, it's just so weird to me. Like they based everything in LA. As soon as like everyone was like, okay, nice, everyone lives in LA. Then they moved the servers from like LA to fucking like Oregon or some shit, and then they're like, all right, now we're moving it to Chicago. It's like, did you like forget that you literally took all the players? Like this would have been great if they started like this when everything was international. This would have been great in season 2. But then they make the LCS. Everyone has to like relocate. Like I'm an East Coast player. I'm from Miami. I had to move to like LA and stuff to play in LCS. Everyone has to do that shit. And then they move the fucking servers across like the state. It's like why not just put the servers in a place where we have like 30 ping? Like just put it in like Vegas or some shit, or I don't know, somewhere more central but sided towards the West Coast. Yeah. that could just give us better ping, and then it's like instead of us having 70 and the people in New York having 30, why don't we have 30 and they have 70? I don't know.
Yeah, it's a unique conversation because, again, this is such a small subset of the massive player base that Riot has to hit. However, I think it's an important subset that they need to address, and I think they were able to cover up the masses being upset with their spread out, inconsistent ping, but now that they're starting to continue to pump in assets and resources into this pro league with ProView and all their new merch and the rebrand and all that stuff, this conversation is going to come up again. So I think these are all great points that hopefully Riot will address in the future.
Yeah, I hope so. It's been like what we've had. This is the 4th season where where the pro players have been on 70 ping.
Yeah, season 5, 6, I think.
Yeah.
Dom and us can complain all the fucking time, but the only like person that can actually make a difference, or the only the group is the LCS, because it's supposed to be a fucking partnership. It's supposed to be a franchise. Like LCS teams are like the only ones, and they need to make a stand on this shit.
And they complain about it all the time though. Like every single time that you have an interview about NA solo from like a person from a different region. So for example, like when Perks came over here or Faker came over, they always are like surprised by how high the ping is.
Yeah.
Like, God damn, that's pretty fucking laggy. Like, we probably shouldn't be playing on that. And
how
then no
high
one
it is
cares.
and how crap we are.
So
Exactly.
I guess I mean, I'm not somebody who covers a lot of logistics or anything like that, but from a logical standpoint, it's like the value of moving everybody there and reestablishing the LCS in that area, is that cost going to be met or made up by the happiness that is gained by the players, which maybe equals more profits for them? But that's like being very wishful, because in terms of like, if I move it there, how do I make the money back? How do I make the money back?
Yeah, I mean, I think now they kind of screwed themselves. I just think that like the point where they fucked up is when the servers were already in LA.
They moved in the first place.
Yeah, like I think that was the first thing that they screwed up on, and now they've just like, so I guess their pro players are just gonna play in a worse training environment.
So the idea for moving it, I can see moving it to be more centralized increases the profits, and you can pay that back because people on East Coast are going to play more or not quit as much, right? And then they'll buy skins, etc. So, because I think the East Coast audience had actually felt a little ostracized playing on much higher ping. So now it was like, try to get it as central as possible and make it like.
I just don't think it
like
matters
easier
to those people. Like, I think that the value, like when you're a random, right? Like I went pro on 85 ping. That shit is not fucking impossible to do. Like
Rank
you can
180 ping, baby.
No, seriously, like you can get high rated with high ping. It's just that, like, to the random fucking casual silver player, it doesn't matter if he has 70 ping or 10 ping. Like, that shit doesn't matter. He's gonna suck no matter what. But like the LCS player, that actually might make a difference. So
yeah, but how's the LCS player make you that money back is the big issue.
by actually not consistently having all your pro players tweet out how much they hate the fucking game, I think that would be a start.
Yeah. Do you think that that causes a lot of player turnover? Maybe.
I think it prevents new players from hopping in.
I think that there's just no new players coming into this game.
Yeah.
Like, I don't see anyone coming into this game. It just seems like if you look at graphs, league interest over time is just going down and down and down and down. So, yeah, I just think that the game is just dying and they're not doing anything to like revive it really. So,
it's how old is this game? It's like almost 10 years.
11.
Yeah, 10 years.
It's actually fucking nuts.
This year's the 10th year anniversary. I think that's why they came out with the new game mode, by the way. And I think that's why they're going to do something special this year. This year is the 10th year anniversary.
Hopefully.
One of the teams that has been there since the very beginning, the final team that I want to hit on was CLG. They lost El Clasico last week. They lost to the current Overlords in Optic in day 1, but they beat the previous Overlords in TL in day 2. This is a squad. The biggest move was Ruin coming on in, moving on from Darshan, Power of Evil, dragging the team still, but the win actually comes off of Stixay playing his favorite, I guess second favorite, AD carry, Caitlyn popping back on in. What are your thoughts on this team here sitting at 2-2 that seems like a good 2-2 compared to a 2-2 for a TL or a TSM?
Ruin is nothing special.
Yeah.
I think Ruin is good. I think Ruin isn't like this mega import, but this is what Ruin is. Ruin is not Darshan. Ruin is not a resource hog that's asking for jungle ganks, that's late picking his pick or early picking an OP and doing nothing with it. I don't think Ruin's that special, but he's not Darshan, and that's improved CLG. I love Darshan. I really, truly do. He is my president. He's the LCS pop star. But CLG looks so much fucking better without him.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think Ruin is pretty good. That's how I don't think he's as bad as you think he is. I
don't think he's bad. It's just he's not special, but he's not Darshan, so the team looks
man.
so much better. So I think there's going to be this hype train of like, oh my god, Ruin is carrying CLG, but Ruin is just not Darshan.
Yeah. He's
Yeah,
not
I mean,
weighing him down.
I think Ruin is the type of player that like is normally consistently profitable. He looked like a pretty profitable top laner in LCS when he was in TCL. I mean, they won everything with Fenerbahce. Like, I feel like he normally performs well and he like plays to win. So I actually really like Ruin as a player. I think that he's a good import. I don't think he's just like whatever import. I think he's a good import. He's the type of player that you want because he's a Korean player with mechanics that plays to win that doesn't seem to have massive attitude issues. Which is I feel like the most important quality of a Korean player is because this is I view it the same fucking way as solo queue in NA as competitive play for like Koreans. When you come here, it doesn't matter as much about your skill. It's like the way you get high rated is you just have you just have like a good fucking attitude about it and shit. Like you're just like, oh yeah, we can still win, guys. Like as long as you have like a positive mental and shit like that, I feel like you'll do pretty well here as a Korean import. If you're like really fucking like, oh my god, this region is worse than like the region I came from. No fucking shit is worse than Korea. Like, why do you think you're getting paid so much money to come here? Like, of course it's worse than Korea. Like, you have to just be okay with that, though, and like try to do your best with what you're given.
And this is like just a big life lesson because like back when I was an actor, I remember like sitting in on auditions and it was like that guy's really good and it's like yeah, but he has an attitude problem. It was like, then the director told me, I don't care how fucking good you are. If I don't want to work with you, I don't want to work with you. So like the number one thing on his list was, do I want to work with you? Number two is, are you good? So that's what mattered.
Well, Ruin wants to be worked with because he's not Darshan and he hasn't been bad yet. So he checks those two things off. I think along the lines of being resilient, though, and trying to find a way to win, I very much enjoyed their win against TL, regardless of how sloppy it was and how they almost threw it away. It feels like this team has to relearn how to win those big games again and relearn how to beat those top teams on a consistent basis, even if it's a back and forth, or maybe not even supposed to be a back and forth. Like CLG had such a massive lead, and they go into TL's base. TL puts up a big stand. LOL Esports tweets it out, and he's like, "Okay, here comes TL, the champion, punching right back and about to take this game." And we want to tweet the point where they win it or where CLG loses it. And then CLG calms their nerves. They're able to get themselves the right team fights and then close out the game. I think that's a big learning lesson for them moving on.
Yeah. That was a horrible throw, though. Like, Victor just walking up and dying. Like, that was such a... That's how you can tell that CLG is, like, not a clean team. Like, good teams will never make a mistake like that.
Pirate Weevil went back to try to get a Q, and then he's like, wait, I'm a fucking Victor walking into the entire team. Oops.
Yeah, that's... And then not only that, they tried to fight it afterwards. Where it's like, oh, not only is that happening, but let's go 4v5. They still walk forward, and then Kennen re-engaged on them afterwards.
It would have been such a CLG way to lose. Almost beat the best team in the league, and then fucking lose.
That's what happens in every single one of my challenges. That's how Challenger solo queue looks. Like, one person dies, then it's like, oh, we still win 4v5, and then you get ace. And
Yep.
Don't tease this old CLG heart. It's gone. I can't. Oh, but I'm feeling these weird feelings. All right, so that's CLG.
Just random question on that match.
Yeah.
Do you guys think Victor is potentially like a good Silas counter?
Oh, I interviewed Pyre Bebo and I actually asked about this. So it's really dangerous in lane, and he should have died a lot more because it was versus Olaf Silas, and they had like Victor Sejuani. But if you can survive it, you can match the Silas in a team fight. There are a lot of champions like you can survive and kind of match the Silas in a team fight, but early game should have been much worse. I think Pyre Bebo played well, and TL didn't abuse it enough.
I mean, I think Jensen also played like pretty bad. How many Sejuani ults did he miss that game? Like 2, 3? Like where he just stole Sejuani ult and then he throws into the whole team and misses it. Okay, and now your champion doesn't do anything. Like, I don't know. I feel like Pyre Bebo just he's very like he's very constricted to his own champion pool. I feel like he doesn't really have that. Like he can play matchups that are slightly bad as long as it's a champion that he's comfortable on, but I don't trust him on like a million different champions. Like I haven't seen Pyre Bebo. Has he played Silas yet? I don't think so. Like Silas, Akali, Aurelia, like these champions, I just don't see him playing.
So he did play Irelia, and his Irelia was pretty decent. He played it twice. One in their loss to Optic, and then one previously before. So I'm not sure about Akali. I'm not sure about Silas, but Irelia is the one champ he's played from like the kind of OP
it
pool.
just feels like that's just not his play. It's like it's the same thing as Froggen. I feel like he's the same type of player where it's like, I guess Froggen played Aurelia too, but I just would rather see Froggen and Nivea or Vel'Koz or Karthus or any type of mage than I would want to see like his Silas or Akali.
As long as it's passable, I don't think it's that bad. And also, you're almost required to play Irelia and Silas Aatrox right now. If you don't play those three, then you're not doing your part as a solo laner, and you're not doing your part as a professional player.
Oh yeah, you're actually like hogging draft resources because they're gonna have to ban those, right? Or if the other team can leave it up and get it, that's really sucks for you.
Dude, Wiggly though, Wiggly looks better. What say you, two junglers?
I think he looks better, but I mean. When he first came on, I thought he was like pretty good and had a lot of potential, but then it got kind of mixed. Yeah, I think he had a lot of potential. It's CLG Classic, but he got kind of mixed up in things with the team not having their full identity. But now, once again, I feel like if PoE is on and Wiggly can play around him and they have that synergy, like jungling for PoE is really easy.
It's
as long as you jungle for him. Yeah,
I'm not sure it's easy, but it's straightforward.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I feel like Wiggly is just the type. He's like, he plays the level of his team. You know, I don't feel like he like elevates the level of the team. I don't know. It's like, oh shit, Wiggly's here. Now the team's gotten like so much better. You know, I feel like whereas some players I feel like do elevate the levels of their team. Like so, for example, Meteos. I feel like Meteos comes into the team is now better with him than they were without him most of the time. And I don't feel that same
good
way.
Example.
100 Thieves, good example. Optic, good example. P1, good example. It's like consistently when he comes in, the team becomes better. And I don't feel like, because I think that comes down to like just the way the player plays and like how confident they are in making the right decision, like their own decisions. Where I feel like Wiggly just kind of does what he thinks the team needs, as opposed to like doing what he wants.
I mean, he's such a young player playing with a lot of veterans. Like everyone on that team is a veteran, where he's like a new player, and as a jungler, it's so easy to have your voice crushed.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, like he's at that 1.5 year mark now of being LCS, and we should know what he is. And it sounds like Dom, I think Dom hit it on the head, where he's there, he's passable, he's serviceable, but he's not going to be the game changer that you need.
He's like pretty good, you know. He's solid mechanically. Like he does what the team needs sometimes, but I don't think he's like gonna upgrade the team. And I think it's really funny that you're like, oh, new players have quiet voices. Like, dude, you played with fucking like Dardoch. Yeah, Dardoch was your jungler. Like his first split.
Dude, Dardoch's his own monster. You can't compare Dardoch to everyone.
Well, I'm just saying that's another rookie jungler. That's how some of them do behave. So.
All right. Well, that was CLG. We hit our teams here for the LCS. If we didn't touch your team, tell them to do better next week, and we'll talk about them in week number 3. All right, moving on. A little bit of business here. This tweeted out at the beginning of last week. Clutch, Dignitas, Optic Gaming, Immortals. So these teams are now selling to the new franchises that are the old franchises. A little confusing, but Clutch didn't want to have as large of a sale anymore. Optic, we touched on it a bit earlier. Texas Esports, or I guess Infinite Esports, was just having like a very difficult time getting the returns that they wanted, and Immortals wanted that LCS slot. Other than, I guess no one's really been a part of a big turnover. Have you, Dom? Were you part of the curse into?
Yep.
That was a takeover, not a what if a turnover. That was PL buying. That was Curse, like kind of buying and merging with PL more so than.
It was the way it worked was that
Yeah.
Curse pretty much had most of the esports teams, and TL had like the huge branding. So, like, so competitive esports, which was the esports side of Curse, which is what Steve ended up like owning. That's what went to TL.
I see. Okay, so it's less of what I think about when I see these two things are, if I'm a member of Clutch or if I'm a member of Optic, you feel like you worry about your future, because
for sure,
as soon as Dignitas and Immortals get their hands on the franchise and they take control, very easily they could be like, yeah, want any of you guys. See you later.
I'm not worried about the players. I'm more worried about staff members, dude. Because when you have a merge/change like that, like there's so many overlapping jobs that you're like, all right, you're fired, you're fired, you're fired. Like they actually just remove jobs.
Wait. Let's just be fucking honest. We all work for esport teams before. There's always people on staff where they do nothing and they're on Reddit all the fucking day. No, literally,
you're fired. You deserve to be fired. Like
10% of people on esport teams do nothing and they're on Reddit, Twitter all day. That's just fucking truth. So
it's more normally the people that are managers.
They're social media managers, man. They have to be like tapped into the veins of the player.
Like manager, it's like, what do they have to manage again? It's like, wake up, guys, wake up for scrims. Okay, nice.
Oh yeah,
we're all done. Like,
I
don't know.
You'd be surprised. It's harder than what it looks. You baby.
Daniel, were you the Reddit people?
I was the Reddit people, 100%. Yeah. That's why I was the first one out.
but like the
I
idea
would have been
is
the
like,
first one out, Loco.
Immortals will have like a social media manager, and Optic has a social media manager. All right, what happens when they merge? Right, what's going to happen to the people who are part of the staff? And I think those are the people that I think have their jobs like most in the balance. Where I don't think like Immortals isn't coming in with like LCS 5-man roster and being like, which one are we choosing out of these like 10 players?
They do the Dragon Ball Z fusion, and then they both become social media managers. They just turn into
God, if only, dude.
Well, I was speaking with Zabatine, and he said that he's just shielded it with the guys, and if anything, it's brought them closer. There's like a levity to it, It's not like, hey, I feel this pressure, we need to win to save our jobs. It's like, hey, this might be our last game together, here we go. And I think that's been interesting to see with them. With Clutch, I think it's a bit different because from the organizational standpoint, with conversations of their staff, everyone seems relatively upbeat and happy, and they enjoy working with each other compared to what the play had shown, especially from last split, where it seemed like there was some friction and difficulty. So I think that it's a little bit of an inverse here for Clutch into Dignitas and Optic into Immortals. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. Other than, I want to know, are you guys excited to see these old franchises coming back more so than being sad to see the new franchises leaving?
Yeah, new franchises didn't really care that much about League. Optic cared a little bit more than Clutch, but Clutch put out so little content. Like I thought Clutch was not a very good franchisee.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care about the old teams at all. Like, I was never like, neither of the teams accomplished anything. They just got shit on the whole time.
You were on Dig. You went to Worlds with Dig. What the fuck?
No, I mean,
I can't tell.
I'm talking about the old ones, like, or the
current new.
Whatever you want. I don't know which ones you're calling old or new, but
yeah.
The ones right now. I'm
shitting on Dig and Immortals. I was like, oh shit.
No, I think Dig and Immortals are way more like fun to be fans of. Like, I care more about just Dignitas in general than I would Clutch probably ever, even if I wasn't on the team. It's just like Dig had so much history in League of Legends, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the original like Scar Voyboy roster, that was like Dig's glory. Like, you like that shit. Immortals had the whole blow up thing at the end of Worlds. Like, that was those are things that make you fans of teams. There was nothing that like Clutch beat TSM and it was like, oh, I'm almost a fan. They just got dicked for Linax to like split in half. So it's like, okay, doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's kind of the history, is just beating TSM. That's it.
Yep.
To be fair, I wanted, while we were at Golden Guardians, I think Clutch did a cross-country invitational with Billy Gaming.
What?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they did.
They did the LPL invitational where they brought Billy Gaming over and they were trying to connect with the LPL. So they were trying things, no doubt. But I think you're
that
right,
was a business move, Daniel. That was a fucking business move. That wasn't like, oh, we want to be friends with like our partners in LPL. No, that's like, no, Daniel, don't buy into the fucking Kool-Aid. Do not drink that Kool-Aid.
I'm just saying they were trying things. All right, so next up on the business side, announcement by Riot. It affects me. Scouting grounds. It's the Faceit 2019 scouting grounds, where both you'll have individuals and then teams able to qualify for an end of the year tournament based off of some of these amateur organizers. So Darkstar Gaming, Paleo, and then there's one more, Imperial, I think, are all these North American tournament organizers that have been trying to get themselves a league for a while. Riot notices it, and I think it's off of the back of the European Masters. This hopefully will breed some talent. It'll give a path to those that have been kind of around for a while. Wanted to get your thoughts on this so far.
What do you know if they have the same format as last season with like the splits, where it's like every 2 weeks is a split, and then you can't play more than 5 out of your 14 games over the course of a split on one champion? Is like that still how it works?
No, it's a completely different scouting ground. So same name, but completely different thing. They're letting amateur tournament organizers run scouting grounds.
It's a tournament format.
Wait, so what about the players from solo queue? That's not happening anymore?
I have no idea. I didn't read.
Sorry, Dom. We know you wanted to be found.
No, well, I was just gonna say that I thought that their ruling last time was just so bad because I actually would have qualified for scouting ground last year if I'm serious. Like
they robbed you. They robbed you of your.
Well, no, it's just dumb the way that they did it. They're like, oh, like there's a one trick rule where if you play like more than like 30% of your games on a champion over the course of the split, which is 2 weeks long, you get disqualified. And I did that with Graves on 3 of the splits, like because I would just I played like 5 or 6 games of Graves out of 14, and I got disqualified for one trick rule. And it's like, who the fuck is gonna call me a Graves one trick? Like it's just so stupid to me. But
yeah, they fixed that for you, Dom. It's 30% of your total games over the 8 cycle period. So if you did 2 splits of them there, then you just wouldn't be able to do it anymore. So we can see Dom back at scouting grounds.
No, I wouldn't have accepted it. Even if I qualified for it, I wouldn't accept that.
It would have been so good for content.
I was gonna say that's great content, dude.
I think it's too fucked up. It's too fucked up to the players that actually like might care.
Yeah,
you know.
That's true. That's true. Because scouting grounds was originally created to like first off get people to care more about solo queue and the challenger ladder. Because I remember back in the day when it was challenger series, it was like, oh yeah, we do like the 5v5 ranked ladder, and then that got really crowded, and it was like, okay, well, how do we get like the next talent instead of focusing on teams? Because now we have like organizations that are franchised or organizations that are really set. It's kind of like relegation wasn't really like knocking a lot of people out, and so it's like, okay, let's focus on the players individually. Take the challenger ladder. This will make people care about it more because everybody complains about how solo queue doesn't matter and people are going to play on Smurfs all the time. Doesn't really fix anything. And I think over time they've been like, it really doesn't get people to care so much about solo queue, maybe a little bit. But also when teams pick up players, they're like fresh out of solo queue. They haven't played on a team or anything like that. So this is a better way to get kind of players that would be a better balance of what teams are actually looking for to pick up, where they go, oh, this guy played on a team all the way to the finals. We saw him through all these matches, instead of like, oh, he's a solo queue player and we got to train him how to be a teammate. So I think it's in better interest of the LCS teams as well. It does deprioritize solo queue a little bit, but I think that was kind of like a
solo queue is bullshit anyway. I mean, think about it like this. Like if I didn't break the one trick rule, I would have qualified, and I was only like 500 at the time. So I was like 100. I was ranking like 110. And after all the jungle, because the thing is, you go through the ladder and you have to just take away all like the toxic junglers. Like I'm obviously toxic, but I'm not like toxic enough to get banned. So it's like you go through the ladder and you have to take out like Tarzan and all those motherfuckers, and then it's like, damn, like the person that ended up qualifying, Obese Panda, he was actually I think master tier at the time, and he qualified.
Wait, is he the same Panda that's on Echo Fox?
Yeah, that's where he came from. Came from solo queue.
Wait, there was somebody else too that I think was were they a support player? I think they were like a support player that made it as a jungler.
What?
Yeah, there was somebody in scouting grounds last. Was it last?
Yeah, I think it was Skrenji or whatever, Sir Kenji.
Oh yeah, Sir Kenji.
Yeah, Sir Kenji.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, because there's Metaphor, Sir Kenji, Fragus, and Obese Panda. So yeah, Sir Kenji I think had most of his games on like support. Yeah, he's a support main, but he played jungle off role, but he had enough games on jungle to qualify him as jungler, and everybody else was like toxic as fuck. So yeah.
Fell right into his lap. So the way it works is this year they'll take the top 2 from solo queue, and then also they have the amateur tournament circuit that'll run from July to September. The top 2 teams from those circuits, after there's like 4 tournaments, I think. 4 tournaments, then there'll be a 16-team invitational off of the results of those 4 tournaments. The top 2 teams, so 10 players, will get to go to scouting grounds as well. So that's how you'll get your 4 teams. So you have 2 set teams plus 2 teams of solo queue talent. So you get to answer that question: can you just get better players to roll on in and beat a organized team or not?
I think another layer to this too is back in the day, the good old days like IPL. And like ESL running tournaments.
Good old days.
I love that shit.
And IEMs and shit. Like they've like altogether pretty much dropped League of Legends. Like, when was the last IEM that League of Legends teams
It was the Opshot.
like,
Opshot IEM back in 2016, 2017 when they were playing all the noises.
Yeah. So, like they're playing. Oh god, those tournaments were so poorly.
Dudes in the back were like,
like
I hate League of Legends. I'm gonna watch CS on this one. Oh shit, accidentally hit the switch.
So there was this mix of like tournament organizers didn't run tournaments very well. It made people frustrated because there's so many pauses. There's like hours of like delays and stuff like that end up happening. So it's like they're poorly organized. They're not run very well. So it was like, let's just bring it all in-house. Let's just make sure that we protect our baby, our product. Let's just run it here at Riot Games. And then, over time, it's been like, well, now there's like no people who know how to run League of Legends. There's no people out there who want to like do outside tournaments. There's no like.
That's what happens when you monopolize,
that, right? Yeah, there's none of that. And so like even like let's just talk about like commentators for a second, right? It's like where are they going to find somebody to come in to even like fill the role that I left, right? It's like, where's the person, right? It's that type of thing. It's like, where are you going to find the next talent for this? Because I train a bunch of casters, but like nobody right now is wanting to train League of Legends in the same way because they can't because there's no fucking amateur tournaments for them to actually progress from. You cast in your room, you cast like college games, and then you're going to go pro right after that. You don't even do like amateur. You don't even do like
how did Flowers get his shot?
That was different. Flowers was doing the circuit while it was still around. So Flowers,
he was doing house party and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So Flowers,
there's some,
that's different. I would say that's the last of them, right? Because Flowers and I were at the same time. I was doing a different league than he was, but now those leagues exist. But how do you level up from there where stakes are higher? You get more eyes on it more than just a 50-person stream.
It's like it's Tale of Two Cities. Flowers went on to cast Worlds and.
I get to sit here with my boys. Who won now? Jesus. All right. Next.
Flowers is crying.
Sorry, there's one tiny more thing I wanted to add on there because like back when I applied to Riot in 2013, I remember there were so many fucking casters that applied for that. There was like EGAD or Feed. I remember Rapid Casting was in the scene.
Oh my god, fuck Rapid
Casting. I know there's a lot of stories about that, but there's so many people who are in the scene because there were so many League of Legends opportunities. And now, like, I've been tapped on the shoulder back when I was at Riot multiple times by people saying, oh, do you know any amateur casters that could do this? And I'm like, I don't know. And remember when like Academy was like put to the teams? A bunch of teams contacted me and they're like, hey, do you know any amateur casters? I'm like, this guy does this game now. I'm like, no, nobody fucking does this anymore. Like the people who now do it are like the Academy casters for teams. And even then it was, in my opinion, like some teams were just like, we'll have our fucking players do it, I guess. Like we'll have like our manager do it or something, like, because there just aren't enough people who are good at doing it. And there's no way to progress right now. So and it was all in-house. So
Scouting Ground's not just for the players, but for yours truly and Zyrene as well. Talent, the future talent. Let's move away from this
talent.
Sap story. Holy shit.
Wait, right. I wanted to ask Dom and Zyrene stuff about it. Do you think there is good NA talent right now that's gonna shine during Scouting Grounds and Face It?
Yeah, I think there's some players that are decent.
Give me some names.
Yeah.
I mean, if Tarzan ever like becomes not a psychopath, him.
Tarzan has this love and hate relationship with competitive play where he's like, I would never fucking go pro, but if I wanted to be pro, I would be better than every other pro. I wish I just got a shot, but I never want to be pro.
He wants to be pro. He just doesn't want to
do what it takes.
Yeah.
Put in the work.
Yeah. Well,
actually be a teammate.
Yeah. Yeah. That aspect of it.
I think I think he could do that. I think it's just like he's had such a bad track record that I feel like most people wouldn't want to touch him. But I think that he's somebody that has like the basics, you know, he has the talent for it. I'd say like Cataval not bad.
Cataval's gotten way better in like the last like year and a half.
That's our boy.
Yeah, I'm actually impressed by.
Wait, where do you see him play?
I watch like a bunch of streams. I watch Dom, I watch like Charisma, I watch a whole bunch of people, and like Cat Evolved like actually play off his jungler pretty well, right? Or at least set his jungler up too.
Yeah. So. Not a one trick anymore. I don't know. There's like random players that could be good. There's players in Academy that I think, because the thing that's weird is like now you have players in Academy like Tactical, where I think he actually is pretty solid, and like that could be NA talent. I don't know how deep we're gonna go, but out of pure like solo queue NA talent, yeah, like Metaphor is not on an academy team either. I think he could be pretty good.
Yeah.
I feel like Metaphor, Tarzan, all these people you mentioned, like they've been around for a while and they've both shown they're skilled enough, but it's all attitude, no?
It's kind of like attitude, and then I think like for Metaphor, it's kind of like bad luck as well. Like he seems pretty unlucky with it. Like
I see Revenge in the chat. Shut up, Revenge. Holy crap.
Wait, what happened to Revenge? He was good. I thought him and Viper were like the two ribbon mains, and I even heard Revenge was supposed to be the better one.
Like Revenge wants Revenge is the type of person where he like needs to like prove that he's better than you in every aspect of life. So like he can already do that by being high ranked in league, but it's also like, oh, I date hotter girls with you. I date hotter girls than you. That's why
Wait, he
like,
doesn't even date anyone. All he does is what if it's Kingdom or Jasmina, him and Blouse Choice. They're
so he flexes Jasmine all over the goddamn timeline. He flexes how much money he's gonna make as a doctor, how jacked he is, you know.
Yeah,
that's
like,
what boy right there.
Better at you than better at League of Legends than you, and I don't even play that game. Like that's kind of what he does.
Yeah, exactly. He just needs to have like the multi-purpose flex where he just makes you feel inferior in every way. You know.
Jesus.
Smarter, better looking.
Now that we've
more girls like him,
we went from who are your prospects to who do we love shitting on in the amateur scene. Let's go to the last one here. We're wrapping it up here very shortly. ProView. I don't think we've talked about it quite yet, but it's popped up. Seems to have like a pretty good reception so far. What are your thoughts on the new edition, and is it worth the money that they're asking for?
Fuck yeah, I fucking bought that shit. What the fuck? How much did they ask for it? $10?
15
bucks?
It's like $20.
20 bucks? Oh shit! Look,
20 for both AU.
This is how it is.
For
I'm gonna the real talk. If you can't afford $20 fucking to get ProView, you shouldn't be watching League anyway. You should be trying to figure out a way to make money so you don't have to fucking haggle over $20 for a full season of ProView.
Holy shit!
That's how it works. Like,
no, you're right.
Get
you're
off
right.
fucking Twitch, man. Like, get off Twitch.
Why does Dom hate poor people?
Yeah.
I don't. Okay, I don't.
Him, dude.
Look. I don't hate poor people.
He's
I hate poor
backtracking.
people that complain about being poor.
Okay.
That's what I hate. Like,
really?
if you're poor and then you do nothing to like try to change it, and then you complain about it, it doesn't even matter if it's wealth or anything. Just in life, if people complain about something and they're not willing to try to change it, I just like hate that.
Okay.
All right, look, how's ProView, not poor people, ProView affected your viewing experience so far?
Dom does hate poor people. I remember Dom once yelled at a poor guy, I make more money than your family in 2 streams.
Okay, number one, that was me being nice. Like, I think it was probably close. Like, my streams were popping off. It was probably close to 1 stream. But
Okay.
Two streams definitely had him covered. Definitely had him fucking covered, bro. Jason Vu? Are you kidding me? Nah, I got him covered in fucking a stream. It depends. If I do a bounty, it might be like a third of a stream. Who knows?
Okay.
Holy.
Oh, Daniel, sorry. What was your question again?
Just talk about ProView, Loco.
I love ProView. It allows you to view from the pro's perspective and kind of see the mistakes they make and kind of how they're thinking. And I definitely noticed players that play much cleaner and players that are very like focused and have really good camera control, really good micro, they click next to your champion, and players that fucking play wild, and that like I'd imagine this player plays fucking wild, and this player did play fucking wild. So yeah, I mean, ProView good shit.
Who give an example, right? You said this player played. What's an example of someone playing a little bit differently than what you thought?
A little bit differently. Well, so I knew Solo played clean, and then I worked with Solo for some of the camera control stuff and how he should be playing when I was on GCU. He did start putting work into it, and then I stopped coaching Solo for a while. And then now when I watch Solo, I'm like, damn, this guy has really good mechanics, really good camera control. Like, he knows exactly how he should be playing. So Solo is someone, I guess that didn't really surprise me, but I was like happy with the development.
Yeah, he needs to be played too a little bit more. They need to learn how to play around him, like, because they already have like not playing around him down, and he does well. But like, give him something, man. Like, that's just frustrating. In terms of ProView for myself, I think it's increased like player empathy a lot, where people can be like, oh yeah, he didn't see that shit coming. Like, how's the guy behind him? Like, you watch like a bot laner and they get ganked, and you're like, oh man, like, oh god, he's getting camped to all shit. Like, you think the jungler's gone when he just ganked you once, he's back again. Like, I think it's great to kind of show that, because I think that's also
I don't know.
that's also how we see League of Legends as players all the time.
So.
You know? Yeah. When I watch Spectator, I see that, but most people consume the game by playing it, and then when they see Pro View, they're like, "This is what I see." So they actually like enjoy that more from like the people I've talked to. God View is great and all that, but it doesn't make you feel like the game has as much stakes to it, right? It's very interesting. It gives a lot of people like an appreciation for pro play that they didn't have.
I guess that's weird to me because it's like, as somebody who played pro,
a lot of people are idiots, Dom. I'm telling you.
A
Right
lot
now.
of people are idiots, Dom.
What the fuck did they think we were seeing? Like, what the fuck did they think we were doing out there? Like,
How did he not see that gank
A
coming?
lot
I saw
of
it.
people are idiots, Dom.
How do people not like see that and they're like, oh, so like obviously like I feel like you can tell what the players see by how they react to new information. Like when they're getting ganked, they're like, oh shit, I'm getting ganked, and it's like, oh okay, he didn't expect that, right?
But
it's
he
like,
walked through my vision.
1 out of 4 every 4 League of Legends players are idiots.
That's
Wait,
low.
that's way
That's
more
a
than-
like,
low
which one is
number.
this here?
That's a low number, Loco.
Think about-
Please.
okay,
Don't-
this is oh man, this is gonna be fucked up. But like, I think D2 players are idiots. I think anyone Diamond 1 and down is an idiot.
Oh,
So it's
shit.
like, holy shit, I'm thinking 99% of people are idiots compared like on League. Like obviously, like
That's
not
how
young
Einstein
people,
thought, right?
but in terms of like League knowledge, I think most of the people are dumb.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
So I think overall good addition so far, but does it just seem gimmicky? It seems a little gimmicky rather than it could be seen a little gimmicky. I think it for a lot of people that have watched pro play and us have worked with the teams themselves, we're used to seeing that and we're used to breaking things down. But does it feel like it's revolutionary for these new guys or for like new viewers, new fans?
Yeah. Because they don't get to see that shit. You guys work for teams. How many people get to work for teams in terms of like even just like the Twitch chat population? I know Twitch chat's all challenger and like works for teams, and they could change an org in a second as a coach. But I mean, when you watch it, it's like you don't always have that same type of empathy when you're in spectators. So I think it helps a lot of players, and they get more excited about it. I think it actually brought more excitement to it. I do wonder though, if it fractures Twitch numbers. Because you go and like you
watch Pro
yeah,
I'm sure they're farming those numbers.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
But it's like if you have a 100K on Twitch or something like that, because I know when like we started streaming on YouTube, it was like they'd take half, so people were like, oh, the viewership went down, and then it was 2 streams because there was a stream and a B stream because there were like 2 matches going simultaneously, and people were like, League is dead because like the viewership got cut in half again, and then it went back. And then now it's like people are watching on ProView, so the viewership doesn't look as high as it actually is. Damn. Right? So I think that like also makes people go like, is this game dying like even faster than I thought? Type thing. So that's the only like bad thing for it. But Riot will see more money because of it. So ultimately that gives them more to give to the teams and more to put into the ecosystem. So ultimately you should see a better product because of this.
I love it as a spectator. I just hate it as I would hate it as a player.
Oh God!
People watching you?
Well, I just wouldn't want other pro players to get to see how I play. I feel like they would get better from that. That's how I felt as a player. That's like why I didn't stream much when I was in season, because I felt like, oh, if I consider myself one of like the better junglers, that means that like anyone who watches it is gonna be able to learn something.
Yep,
like, they're just gonna know something, even if they just watch me play solo. Because I was like, I'm not streaming. I'm just keeping all that shit to myself. So like now I feel like it's so much like easier for the bad players to improve because they can actually just watch a good player play.
Or pro players can now stream and make money and not worry about it because they're gonna get seen anyways. So that's another positive there. Also thinking about like the 10% of Reddit Reddit only members on a job, Loco. Like this sounds like a full-time job of, hey, watch this dude's pro view. We're going to be playing them, scout out for us. And then the rest of the time they're on Reddit. Yeah. A possible pickup there. I'm just thinking of other ways that I could probably find another job on the team.
Position coach should do that.
Yeah, position coach. We had a couple of those on Golden Guardians. All right, guys. I think that'll do it here for us. Pro view, week 2 in the books. Hating on poor people, and of course,
that's the name of the
title.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate it. Dom, Zyrene, Loco. Any last thoughts before we cut it off?
some technical difficulty. We'll fix it next time stream. I love how streams like, why don't they just fix their internet? I'm like, holy fucking shit. Daniel's
You know
right.
what?
Most people are
They're
dumb.
right, dude. Why didn't we think of that?
Yeah, I wish we should have.
I forgot to press my fix internet button. Holy shit, my bad, guys.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. We'll catch you guys next week for week 3 of Facecheck.
All right, bye.
See ya. Peace.